this coffee. I have no idea. Oh, this hair. Yikes. Ah, here we go. And oh, my glasses. I need my glasses. Let me see. I swear, only when I need them, I can't find them. Only when I need them, I can't find them. Found them. Crisis averted. What are you reading? The Bible. Jesus calling. Jesus is calling. Jesus is calling. Jesus is calling. Oh. Hi. Now I can see everybody. Oh my God, the funniest was the first time that Olivia ever saw the word manalapan. She was like, "Ooh, manalapan." Cracked me up. Good morning. It's really funny to me when people have funny name handles like Booty Butt Licka 97. Like, that makes me laugh. Anyway, I am in Atlanta, everybody. I am in Atlanta for the last week of Power Star Live. I can't believe that we have done 10 weeks already, or almost 10 weeks already of this show. I love this show, and it is my hope that we find a sponsor, a big sponsor like Pepsi or American Airlines or Nike or something, to bring the show back. And my goal is to bring it back in October, and I really hope that we do. So, as some of you may have noticed, the last week or so has been rough for me. You know, we all kind of, hi Drew, we all kind of hit walls and go through things. And hold on. Shit, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, Lord have mercy. Make my life easy. So, anyway, it was a rough week, right? So I called my friend Katie in Los Angeles, and she literally got on a plane, literally got on a red eye. I don't know if you guys know how annoying the red eye is. Like, I don't think you understand. The red eye sounds, in theory, like it's an amazing opportunity. Like, oh, I'm gonna fly out of here during my normal sleeping time, and when I wake up, I will wake up rested and well fed in a whole other city on the other side of the world. It really does sound like an amazing opportunity, but in actuality, it is, you know, gate time to gate time is like 5 hours and 30 minutes, but really flying time's like 1 minute. So you fall, they're like, you know, you fall asleep and you land, and you're like, wait, what?
They're like, do you want water? Can we get you anything to drink?
Yeah.
Do you want any food?
They like try shoving, you know, peanuts that you're not supposed to be eating because someone has a peanut allergy in row 3, which they've already announced 7 times. Be respectful, please, of peanut allergies. They're very serious. And my friend's son has a deadly one. The red eye thing sucks, which is, I'm sharing all of that with you to say that it is amazing to me that Katie's here. And she came to spend the whole week with me, which really, like, if you think it doesn't matter, I'm telling you. Having a friend show up when you... That air conditioning is trying to freeze me out.
Do you want me to turn it on?
I can. It's cold in here.
What are you looking at?
Reading the red eye hate comments.
Yes. People hate the red eye. Katie's reading her Bible. When she's done, she'll come into Coffee Talk.
I can enjoy it.
She's talking to Jesus right now. You know, I'm not shading her. I'm just saying.
I have my morning routine.
Yeah.
Jamie
It's
has
not
her
Coffee
morning
Talk?
routine.
What does that mean? I'm insulted. Ow. Okay, everybody remember Kate's?
Hi.
She has Kate's, Cutes, all kinds of nicknames. Last night she killed a bug for me. She doesn't know who Debbie Gibson is. I feel like you guys should, don't shame her now, but I just wanted you guys to know she doesn't know who Debbie Gibson is, which means that when I go, there was a time when broken hearts and broken dreams. We got nothing, folks. I get lost in your eyes, and I feel my spirit fly.
Well, I'm
and
sure you
soar
play that one in the
like
car.
wind.
She
Okay.
listens to yacht rock in the car.
I'm 42.
Yacht rock. What is yacht rock?
Yacht Rock Radio. It's the bomb.
I listen to Tyga.
Let me get a taste. You could get a taste. Damn, we could get a taste. I mean, I like Tyga too, but I definitely listen to Yacht Rock all the time. Then last night she goes, tell Debbie Reynolds that. Debbie Reynolds is dead. She was an actress. She was Carrie Fisher's mom. Debbie Gibson is a singer. Well, you might not be able to hear me because there's a good chance that I'm like
Microphone
blocking
is
the
in the-
microphone because I'm some sort of... No, I'm not. I'm not. Nope. If you can't hear me, it's you, love. Damn, I keep flipping that around on people. Okay, anyway, so we wanted to talk about... well, my husband's terror.
It's the same. That's know who she is.
Better read that Bible, girl.
I'll talk to
In
Lord
the
about that
Bible,
one.
it's Jesus is like, thou shalt not know who Debbie Gibson is.
I must repent and learn of her immediately.
Debbie Gibson was like, shake your love. I just can't shake your love. No. Electric youth. The power is in the energy. Coming on. Come. Okay, your husband not knowing who Aretha Franklin is unacceptable. That's not even like... Debbie Gibson is like a rare 80s treasure. Aretha's like a... Oh, her wedding song was In Your Eyes by Debbie Gibson.
wow.
Oh, hey.
I see you got some yacht rockers on this page.
All right. Okay, B.
Thank
Stop
you.
encouraging her.
Thank you, Ms. Bryant.
Okay, so we want... I used to have the Electric Youth perfume, by the way. I was fully invested in Debbie Gibson. I went to travel camp, Rolling Hills Travel Camp in New Jersey. I was Jewish then. It was a Jewish travel camp. And Debbie Gibson was a big part of our bat mitzvahs. Huge. Why are you making that face? Do you know what a bat mitzvah is?
Yes, I've been to one.
Okay. I've been...
I had a token Jew friend growing up.
I've been to one. Well, I had one. Okay. And Debbie Gibson, we love her.
We must look at pictures. You
I
must
have-
post them on Instagram. A TB.
Ugh. I have my Debbie Gibson perfume was huge back then. Okay, so we were talking about emotional tethering, and I think this is really, really important. First, we're going to explain what emotional tethering is, because there's a difference between having an emotional connection to somebody or an emotional, like a friendship where there is an emotional exchange of energy. And then there is a difference between manipulative emotional tethering, where somebody intentionally bounds and or ties themselves to you emotionally so that you feel two things. One, ego takes over and you feel like I'm the only one who can help them. And also, guilt takes over and you feel I'm the only one that can help them, right? Now they've got you exactly where they want you. A lot of times we don't know this is happening because our ego takes over and we start to go like, oh my God, look at me. I'm so needed. I'm so valued. I bring so much to the table, that by the time we realize we've been emotionally tethered to someone, we can't get away. And it becomes a very dangerous, dangerous situation. How would we explain emotional tethering? It's part of the grooming process, which I have talked about on here before. The grooming process. Kate?
Well, I think what's important when we were talking about it yesterday is that it's not just one-sided, though. Like, yes, this can happen when that narcissist is trying to manipulate you into a situation, but I think for me, when I think of what we're kind of talking about right now, and I know we've kind of attached this term to it probably because we're obsessed with us, but for me, when I think about those situations, it's almost like I had an addiction for the person. Like they were a drug that I needed. And then when I realized...
By the way, it is scientifically proven that when you lose a person that you are addicted to, your body goes through the same withdrawals that it does when you stop doing drugs.
I mean, it's horrible. And so I think that it's that tie that you have to someone, that chain, that figuring out, how did I get into this? How is this broken? Because it doesn't start bad, right? It starts as something good. We were created to love each other. We were created to be connected to each other and to be able to help each other and to celebrate with each other and those sorts of things. But when it gets warped, that's when it gets really dangerous.
I know, but the problem is that 9 times out of 10, when somebody's intention is to emotionally tether themselves to you, what starts good isn't real. It isn't real when they are, and it's real for us.
Yeah.
It's real for us, but it isn't real for them. The narcissist presents the mask, right? The representative. We talked about that in a coffee talk a couple of weeks ago. A lot of times you're meeting the representative, and they say and give you all of the things that you need and want, and the more and they watch you, they pay attention, what you like and what you don't like. When something works, they lean into that. When it doesn't work, they back off, sometimes withholding affection to make you feel like you've done something wrong, so you chase them. Then they come back full force and you go, oh, there it is again. It's like oxygen, right? And the constant emotional highs and lows become almost like catching a buzz. It's almost like having 2 cocktails. That feeling of like giddiness. And I know her dimple's so cute, right? The thing is, yes, they mirror you. They do. They mirror you a lot. They watch the way that you deal with other people, the way you move, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Narcissists are...
What you say you want.
Yes.
What you say you don't want.
Narcissists are survivors. Like, they really are the cockroaches of humanity. Like, I feel like if there was an atomic bomb, narcissists and cockroaches would survive. and like, really, I'm not kidding. Like, but being emotionally tethered, I need to stay focused because I can talk about narcissists all day long. Yeah. When you are, and yes, it can be parents. Yes, it can be siblings. Yes, it can be lovers. Yes, it can be friends. Yes, it can be people you work with. Anybody can do this to you. We often only associate these roles as people who want sex from us. 9 times out of 10, a narcissist doesn't even really want sex from you. That's a byproduct of whatever situation they've negotiated in themselves, typically because women attach sex with being valued and being loved and being desired. The narcissist will have sex with you, but typically that is not even what the narcissist wants from you. They want time, they want energy, they want resources, they want money, they want all of those things. And then they have sex with you, and if you pay attention, 9 times out of 10, sex with a narcissist doesn't even feel good. And I don't mean the physical act, I mean the whole thing.
Spiritual part.
Yes, the spiritual part. There's a part of you that knows it isn't right, that knows it doesn't. My ex before Michael was a narcissist. And sex with him was always a negotiation, and it was always like he was doing me a favor, and it was always like he was throwing me a bone. And that's not the way that intimacy between two people who have a healthy emotional connection is supposed to work. But they will convince you that it's got to be on your terms, and it's got to be when you want it, and it's got to be how you ask for it. It's got, like, there's always some sort of manipulation around sex with narcissists that makes me want to barf. Yeah, they use it as a weapon. Yeah.
A lot of people are asking when we're talking about this about codependency. I think sometimes
I feel personally attacked. I feel personally attacked. Yes, of course. There is a huge part of codependent. Narcissists, here's the thing. Narcissists are like crazy glue. If there's not a surface for them to stick to, it doesn't work. Yes, I was codependent. I was a willing participant in what was happening to me, even though I didn't understand what was happening to me. I knew it wasn't right. I knew it didn't feel good. I knew the relationship was not on equal footing. I knew all of those things. And I made excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse. And yes, I was emotionally codependent.
But is every situation you're talking about with emotional tethering also codependency?
In some ways, because you need that fix. Whatever they're giving you, you need it. Listen, my old boss, you know who I'm talking about? Okay. I didn't need anything from her. Right?
Yeah.
I didn't need anything from her. I didn't need money from her. I didn't need anything from her. But the constant back and forth, the muse, the energy,
your creativity.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, I needed that. I became very codependent on that. In fact, she convinced me that most of my best came from that exchange. And I believed it. I was like, oh my God, 100%. I'm never going to be as good as I am right now with you.
Right. You are your best.
I am my best when I am with you. Yes. And that is a Jamie thing.
Well, and even just speaking to that, that sounds like a beautiful comment you would see under an Instagram photo of two people that have a pure love. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. It takes that purity and warps it in some way to an advantage.
Right.
A selfish desire or need or hurt or fear.
Well, that's what we talked about yesterday. Is there are two ways of thinking, right, or acting. In love, no, me and you last night. In love or in fear.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay. So let's go through it. So some people are saying, what is emotional tethering? Emotional tethering is when somebody uses their background, their upbringing, their hardships, their struggles, and they lay them at your feet in a way that makes you feel like they're sharing all of that with you because they can trust you. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, isn't that what you do when you make a friend? Now it goes all back to intention, right? Katie knows about my dad. She knows about the baby that I lost. She knows about, so does the whole freaking world, because I do coffee talk. But on an intimate level, we've had conversations about ex-boyfriends, my parents, whatever. My intention is not to manipulate Katie. My intention was to simply share those things at the time we were sharing and move on. There's an emotional connection, but there's not an emotional tethering. She doesn't feel, if she needed to end this relationship tomorrow, she doesn't feel burdened by what's been laid at her feet to move on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I think another way of explaining it would be when someone essentially guilts you. Like
But it doesn't present itself as guilt.
No.
It presents
makes you
itself
feel special,
yes,
because you're the one that they wanted to confide in, and you're the one that can be trusted with this. But now that you know this, you have to treat them differently.
You have to help me.
Yeah.
You have to help me because you know all of these things now. I've trusted you. Please don't hurt me. And suddenly, you become emotionally beholden to them. So when they come to you and say, I need money, you feel a certain obligation or responsibility to help them sort things out. Two things are happening here. Your ego kicks in and goes, you've got to do it. You're the only one. Don't you know, Indiana fucking Jones? It's got to be you. And suddenly you're in a cave with snakes, climbing over people who don't speak English, trying to get to a magic egg to help the person because you are the chosen one. Jesus. Right now, God's going, ay, ay, ay. Right? And then guilt takes over, and guilt goes, you have to help. You allowed him or her to share all of these things, and like, you've had endless late night conversations and text streams that go on for days about how great you are, and you've come this far, and they only need $10,000, or they only need to borrow your car, or they only need a place to live, or they only need whatever. Yeah. And you'll get it back and you'll sort it out, and they've been on their feet before. They'll get on their feet again. You'll get it all back. It'll all come back around. And you see all the other people. The most interesting part for me is when you see they have no one else. That is a red flag. You are not that special. You are not that special. So when you meet someone who makes you feel like you are all they have, that goes against nature. God intended us to be social, loving creatures. When someone tells you, I have no one, what they are saying is, I have damaged every personal relationship I had in my life, and you are now it for me. So I've got to play you like a fiddle to emotionally tether you to me so you can save me. When someone tells you you are all they have, they are telling you that they have destroyed every personal relationship they had. That is not normal. It is normal to set boundaries. It is normal to walk away from people that don't no longer serve you. It is not normal to have no one in this world. It is not normal. And when you meet a man who tells you that every woman in his life is crazy, red flag. Because women are not crazy by nature. They are driven crazy by narcissistic men and women. And that is the truth. Yes, obviously we have mental health and things like that. Obviously there are exceptions where women are going through shit. But when a man tells you that every woman in his life, including his mother, can't be trusted, it's a giant red flag.
Or sometimes only his mother is also a red flag.
Yeah, sometimes only his mother is also a red flag.
But we want to ignore the red flags, right? Because it makes us feel special.
By the way,
we really like the person. We trust the person. We want to help them. We see the good in them.
Jesus has isolated them for a reason. Jesus has brought them to their knees for a reason. Remember when I said sometimes you think you're helping someone, but what you're really doing is interrupting karma. Karma is trying to do her job and drag this person. And here you come. I'm special. Let's start a texting relationship where you can convince me how special I am. And before you know it, I'll be signing over the deed to my house and you'll be driving my car. Meanwhile, if you go on the beach and you want to swim and there's a red flag, you're not going to go into the water.
Well, something you just said really just spoke to my ego there, right? Because when we meet these people who are separated, and we want to help them. And what you said is sometimes maybe they've been separated. Maybe God needs to separate them and clear everything out. We are now interrupting what God is trying to do with them.
And we go, oh my God, I've got to help them. They're all alone. And God's going, do you know how long it took me to get them all alone?
Get out the way. Get
Yes.
out the way.
God becomes ludicrous. Ooh, bitch, get out the way. Not us. No.
We're here. Hi, we have lemonade.
What's your savior song? What's your theme song? Like like Chariots of Fire when you're coming in to save someone who's been isolated by God, but your ego's like, I got it, God. God's like, wait, what? You're like, I got this. I'm special. Oh.
Happens with friends too.
Oh my God.
That can be the worst.
The worst. Jesus.
It's been a tough year.
It's only April. She goes, it's been a tough year. It's April. It's the first week of April.
So what do we do about this?
So what do we do? When you realize that you are emotionally tethered to someone, when you realize that somebody has like emotionally tethered themselves to you and you now feel guilty about everything in the relationship is not two-sided, it's one-sided, and you know it. You know it.
And the first part is we start blaming ourselves, right? And we start going through every little thing, every warning sign we ignored, which I think is an important and healthy process to evaluate that, right? And the why we chose to ignore those signs.
Yeah, the work we have to do is in us. That's the other misconception, is like that we have to try to, okay, I am guilty of this. Raise your hand if you are guilty of trying to be so amazing that the narcissist treats you differently than they've treated everyone else.
Oh.
Kate, put your hand up.
Putting 2 hands up for that one.
And a foot. Okay, Jillian, that's the exception. Of course there are people who are isolating themselves and they're not narcissists. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that emotionally tether themselves to you because they are narcissists. Yes, guys, there are people in isolation now who you probably won't meet because they've isolated themselves, who are not narcissists. That's not what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the ones that come out of their hole long enough to emotionally tether themselves to you, and then they bring you back down into the, and you go, ooh, this is so intimate.
And they're saying, oh,
where are we? Are we in a cave? What is this?
I feel like I've been waiting for you my whole life.
I've been waiting for a girl like you to come into my life. And you go, oh my God, they're playing, who is that? You wouldn't know. You're too young.
Debbie Gibson.
No, it's not Debbie Gibson.
Tiffany. Who else from this time period? Who else is a yachty rocker?
No, I've been not Journey. I've been waiting for a girl like you to come into my life. Oh, it'll come to me. It'll come to me. Don't worry.
People love Debbie Reynolds.
It's not. Is it Foreigner? Foreigner. Sticks? No. Now we're just Foreigner. It's Foreigner. Foreigner. But imagine if there was, it is Foreigner, Drew. Imagine if there was a soundtrack to a narcissist journey.
How about they take every song you love and use
it against you?
That's what it's like.
Because
you don't realize it at
love
first.
me. Anyway, so what to do now? What to do now? Now you're emotionally tethered to someone and they ingrain you. Another thing that they do, narcissists do, is they emotionally tether you into things that have longevity so that you...
Yes. Let's build a business together.
Yes. Let's start businesses. Let's write movies together.
Let's move in together.
Let's start oh yeah, yes.
You know, that
let's
can be
move in
girlfriends
together.
too.
Let's sign a lease together. Things that require longevity so that when you do figure out who and what they are, you still feel emotionally tethered to things that are happening down the road, right? They've got a presentation 3 months from now that you've been helping them prepare for. Well, I can't possibly leave you because who else will help you read your speech? I don't know, maybe read it alone, you cockroach? No, I'll just stay in this relationship and be abused for the next 3 months so that I can listen to you go, my name is John. This is my presentation. It's terrible. As Charles Barkley would say, terrible. Terrible. Let's buy a car together.
Yeah.
Yep. Things like that. Let's
Loan
go
me some
look at
money
cars.
I can't repay you for
Yes.
5 years.
Loan me some money. I promise I'll pay you back at some point. Let's get a dog together. And all the while, they're constantly talking about things that you guys are going to do that are
in the
future so that you don't leave. And what you don't realize is you are so emotionally tethered to them that even though you are miserable in this relationship, you are still online looking at flights for a vacation you might take in 6 months because they keep talking about it. A vacation you will most likely pay for. A vacation you won't even get laid on because they use sex as a weapon. I heard a loud swallow, folks.
This doesn't strike any bells.
Dong, dong. Oh, God. This coffee talk is really ruining my whole life, but making it at the same time. All the entanglements. Yes,
Yeah.
Andrea.
No, it's important to reflect on this stuff, and it's really important to figure out what it is in you that connected with that, and how do you break that going forward. Because it's easy for me to say, right, oh, I always attract narcissists. Like, I always attract these guys who see this thing in me and da-da-da-da. And it's like, no, bruh, you may attract narcissists, but you attract good guys too, and why are you not giving them the attention? Or the same thing with friends, right? It's not just romantic.
Guys, I'm telling you right now, this is very, very, very important. If you listen to nothing else I tell you, listen to this. I'm not kidding. A baby will not change them. A baby will not heal them. A baby will not fix them. A baby will not tether them to you forever because you are codependent and there's a part of you that wants them forever. You will be chasing the high from the beginning of this relationship for the rest of your life. It is like heroin. You take the first hit with them in the first few weeks when you are dealing with their representative. It is the greatest emotional interaction you will ever have because they are weaving a web and you've got to get entangled in it. So the web has to be intricate and beautiful and really tailor-made for you. So they are paying attention and they are pouring in. Once that stops, you will be chasing that high forever. It will never, ever come back. You will never, ever, ever get that beginning attention and that beginning emotional vulnerability from them ever again. It was all part of their plan. And you will try so hard to...
Well, you're living for the glimpses of it. It can be cyclical, right? Extreme highs, extreme lows, like I see that with a girlfriend of mine. It's a constant cycle. It's been going on for years now. You know what I mean?
Yes. I mean, you do see glimpses of the person that you met. You do. You see glimpses of the person that you met every once in a while, and you go, oh my God, I'm getting through to him. There he is. He or she is. They're coming back to me. And then...
It was the Sex and the City episode we saw last night with Carrie and Big, right? When he just had the open heart surgery and she's there with him at the hotel room and he's like, well, what about us? Why don't we grow old together? This is what we can do at 70, right? And she's like so uncomfortable by it because he hasn't said this in so long. And then he wakes up in the morning different guy again.
Yep.
Closed off.
Yep. It's a love bomb in the beginning, and it goes off fast and furious. And I'm telling you now, a baby will be the worst thing you can do. Let me explain to you if you do not have a baby yet.
I have no babies.
There is nothing that will make you more enraged. There is nothing that will make you more insane. There is nothing that will make you more out of control than when someone uses your child against you. It is, listen to me. Listen to me. You can't imagine the way you will love a baby. You can't imagine it in your wildest dreams. It isn't even, God doesn't give you the ability, the capacity to understand that kind of love. Because if you had that walking around just at 20, you'd be walking into walls and smashing your face on everything. Okay? It would literally, you wouldn't be able to see straight. I cannot express to you what the love and the instinctual need to protect a child will do to you. You want to know why women kill men in their sleep and shit? It's probably because he messed with her cubs. Okay? 9 times out of 10, when an animal attacks in the wild, there's some sort of animal specialist going, well, the white person got too close to their cubs. Yeah, I get it. 100%. The narcissist will use your child against you. They will try to psychologically and emotionally tether the child to them. You will watch it happen all over again with your child, and you will go insane. And no one will be able to help you because this person will have rights to the most important thing in your life. So when you have finally seen the error of your emotional ways and you want to get away, you won't be able to, because they will be emotionally tethered to you forever because you will have had their child. And it will become your life's mission to make sure that this child does not become like his or her mother or father. Y'all, I'm telling you now, if you don't have a child with a narcissist, but you are in a relationship with a narcissist, get on birth control, even if you have to do it behind his or her back. Do not have a baby. I'm telling you now. And they will present themselves to the court like they are a pillar of the community. Your Honor, I love her. I don't know why she acts this way. She's crazy.
Well, but the part with this, right, is they, in their minds, genuinely don't. Well, this is what I struggle with. I go back and forth on this. Do they recognize their actions? Do they, because so oftentimes we are never the villain in our own stories, right? We're the hero. So like,
no, we all are active participants in this shit. We are. Look at, so Katie and I had an idea for a movie called The Groomer, and Katie's going to help me, and we're going to do it together, about a man who grooms a woman, a narcissist who grooms a woman into a very dangerous situation. And you guys are going to be able to see it on screen unfold, what has happened to you. You're going to be able to watch it. You're going to recognize all the behaviors. And you're going to see where you are a willing, active participant in this behavior.
But going back to the courtroom for a second and going back to the narcissist up on the stand testifying, in their mind, they genuinely, like, do they genuinely believe that they've
I think it's a mixed
wrong?
bag.
Yeah.
I think some of them know what they're doing because they're also sociopaths. I think there are narcissists who are also sociopathic, who are like, who purposefully do this. And then I think there are narcissists who really think that the world is out to get them. And
yeah,
Okay, and also, ladies, I love you so much, but we have to be very careful about saying things like, then he got me pregnant. Ladies, we all know how babies are made. I'm sorry, but we do. And unless he put a condom on that he poked holes in behind your back, which certainly could happen.
That is the exception.
We all know how babies are made. When I got pregnant with Max and I looked at Michael and I went, how did this happen? He went, you were there. You know exactly how it happened. And the truth was I did. I knew exactly how it happened. I'm so happy it happened. My son is the only one who respects me.
No. The devil is a lie.
The devil is a lie. Anyway. He got me drunk. I don't drink. Did he spike you? Did he trick you? What the hell did he do? Did he, what? He got me drunk. I don't drink. How did he get the alcohol down your throat? What kind of psychopath are we dealing with here? Because that sounds criminal to me, and that's a sociopath. That's a very different situation.
We got me pregnant.
Yes. Who said that? I love it. Tiara. Yes. I love her. We got me pregnant. Thank you. Oh my God. I need that on a t-shirt. We got me pregnant. The borrow money part. Oh yes. Oh yes. I have one drink usually. He talked me into more and more, but I don't hear any accountability on your part. This is what I mean, ladies. If we don't start taking accountability, we're going to continue to attract these type of men. Seriously, we are in constant like, nope, you did that. You allowed that.
Yeah.
You did that, Katie. Jamie?
Yeah.
What was your part in that? Ugh, God, accountability is so hard. It's so hard, but you have to own your part in it or it will keep happening. Over and over. Anyway, I think you guys understand, and you need to be aware of emotional tethering. You need to look at your situation with people right now and really look like, am I emotionally beholden to this person? Like, am I really, is this a two-way street? Like, is this relationship truly 50-50 or 100-100? Because if it isn't, and you know you're constantly bringing more to the table and they're just taking and taking and taking, and you don't really want to be in this relationship anymore or this friendship anymore or this professional relationship anymore, but you feel emotionally beholden to them, you need to start backing up.
Or you know it's not for your good. Like for me, one of the problems I remember with one was I loved this man and I wanted to be with him so badly, but I knew he was so bad for me. And it was so hard to break that chain and to get out of that, like so hard.
It isn't really hard. We make it hard. We are not trees. We can move out of where we are in our life. We make it hard. We make it complex. Our ego goes, but you look at all the time you've invested and you live together. No. We make it hard. What did Samantha say? Or somebody on, yeah, what are you, Princess Save-A-Ho? You don't have to stay on Sex and the City, right? On Sex and the City, she said something like, you're not a tree, leave. We convince ourselves like, oh, it's going to be so hard to leave. And like, there's so much, because that's what they do. They emotionally tether you to so much that it feels overwhelming. No, you could leave. You could literally put everything in your suitcase right now, walk out of here, get in an Uber, go to the airport, and never talk to me again. We have projects together. We have business stuff together. We have a friendship together. You know things about me. You love me. And you could walk away from me. And your life would go on and you would be just fine. But we don't. Instead of looking at that, we go, oh.
Well, we look at the immediate mourning process, that immediate grieving, that place of pain that we're going to have to sit in for a little while. while we mentally separate, emotionally disconnect.
Right. And I understand everybody has an exception. I need you to understand that obviously there are exceptions to every rule. People are going, I can't just leave. We have kids. Of course, there are exceptions to every coffee talk. I understand. You don't have to convince me. You're not trying to convince me. You're trying to convince yourself, and that's fine. I have done that for much less. I have convinced myself to stay friends with people who were using me and narcissists and all of that, and I didn't have kids with them. So I get it. I get it. You don't have to convince me. Believe me. I just want you guys to know, we know how bad this sucks. For everybody who is in this situation, we know how bad this sucks. We know how trapped you feel. We know how embarrassed you are. We know how disappointed and how broken you are, and how you're going, how did I let it get this far? Like, how is this my life? We know. We've been there. We've been there. I saw the truth after 1 kid in 2 years, but still didn't listen. At least you're honest. Like, acknowledgement is the first step with narcissists, is acknowledging it.
Yeah.
The embarrassment. Oh my God, the embarrassment. The embarrassment. Because people look at you and they're like, oh, she's such a strong woman. She's so cool. She's so independent. She's so whatever. And they don't realize that you are trapped in this fucking bizarre relationship. And you don't want to be the one to come out and go, yo, I am trapped. Because they'd be like, how are you trapped, girl?
Yeah. How'd you fall for that? You're smart.
How'd you fall for that? Anyway. We love you. Oh, dickmatized is real. But by the way, it's not, yeah.
That's different.
Narcissists rarely dickmatize you. Truth be told, I'm going to say this, and I know, like, y'all don't like when I talk like this. Truth be told, typically in these relationships, save for the first few times you're intimate, the dick is trash. It really is trash. We just want, it's the only closeness we have to the narcissist. So we're like, oh my God, this is the best. If you're starving and somebody throw you a cracker, you're going to be like, that was the best damn cracker I ever ate. But when you get far enough away from them crackers, you're going to be like, that was just a regular old Ritz. That wasn't a special cracker. That was just a regular old Ritz. That's what Eddie Murphy said, and that shit was real. Okay? True or false?
I would have to process that for a second. It doesn't immediately strike a chord, but it's certainly hilarious.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I think you guys need to share this video, because if you don't need to hear it, there is somebody who needs to hear it. See, Renee said it. His D was trash. Worst ever. Sis, I know, sis. And you're chasing the first few times you did it because you so badly want that emotional connection. And every time you have sex with them, you feel worse and worse about yourself because it's never what you hope it will be. Makes me want to barf, if we're being honest. Okay. I love you guys so much. Or the sex stops, right? The sex stops. They use it against you. It's a manipulation tool. They ignore you. Blah, blah, blah. We've all been there. All right. I love you guys so much today. Have a great, great day.